swept, so there's definitely some pride on the line for Indiana. Fever in white, Sparks in gold. Tip is up and controlled by the Sparks. They'll have to start the fourth and final period as well. Doesn't seem to be moving particularly well here at the start of this one. Finished with 21 points against the Mercury. Here's the lob into Plum. Nice job by Plum finishing in traffic.
Aliyah Boston, the all-star, the cornerstone of the franchise, and the rising star of the WNBA, just made a massive statement. The Fever went head-to-head with the LA Sparks in a do-or-die battle for the playoffs. And without Caitlin Clark on the floor, a lot of people thought the Fever didn't stand a chance. But Aliyah Boston? She said, "Not on my watch." The Fever fought, clawed, and dominated their way to a playoff berth. And Boston led the charge. This is the story of how Aliyah Boston didn't hold back, how the Fever silenced the doubters, and how this game may have just reshaped the future of the WNBA. Let's break it down. This wasn't just another regular season matchup. Oh no, this was win or go home. The Indiana Fever were locked in a battle with the LA Sparks for that final playoff spot. For a franchise that's been fighting for respect, fighting for relevancy, this was a moment years in the making. And here's the kicker: Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom and face of women's basketball, wasn't in the lineup. Whether it was due to rest, injury management, or just coaching strategy, the Fever had to go to war without their biggest star. Everyone was asking, could the Fever survive without Caitlin Clark's shooting, her playmaking, her leadership? Well, Aliyah Boston had the answer. Aliyah Boston didn't just play well. She absolutely took over. From the opening tip, you could see the fire in her eyes. Boston dominated the paint, grabbing rebounds, blocking shots, and scoring at will against the Sparks frontcourt. She wasn't just playing basketball. She was sending a message: this is my team, this is our moment, and we're not missing the playoffs. Boston poured in points, controlled the boards, and played like the franchise cornerstone she was drafted to be. Every time the Sparks made a run, Boston shut it down. Every time Indiana needed a bucket, Boston delivered.
Plum the crossover. Cut off there by Howard. They swing it around. Jackson an open look at three, and that's good. It's a good sign for Rickea Jackson. Just getting going here from downtown Los Angeles. Hamby and Boston right back to Stevens there. Nice give and go.
This wasn't Caitlin Clark's show. This was Aliyah Boston proving she could be the anchor of a playoff team. And it wasn't just Boston. The Fever's supporting cast rose to the occasion. Kelsey Mitchell knocked down clutch shots. Lexi Hull hustled on defense, diving for loose balls. Nalissa Smith brought energy and versatility in the frontcourt. Without Clark orchestrating the offense, the Fever relied on teamwork, ball movement, and sheer grit. And you know what? It worked. This wasn't about one player carrying the load. It was about a team proving that they're deeper than people think. Boston may have been the engine, but everyone bought in. And that's why they're heading to the playoffs. On the other side, the LA Sparks came into this game hungry, but they just couldn't match the Fever's intensity. The Sparks had talent. They had motivation. But down the stretch, they couldn't handle Aliyah Boston's dominance inside or the Fever's defensive pressure. Turnovers piled up. Missed opportunities haunted them. And while they tried to mount a comeback, Indiana had an answer every single time. It was one of those nights where the Fever simply wanted it more. And it showed. So what does this one mean? For starters, it proves the Fever are not just a one-player team. Don't get it twisted. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent and the biggest star in women's basketball right now. But this playoff berth? This was about Aliyah Boston's leadership. The Fever showed that even without Clark, they can compete, they can win, and they can rise when the lights are brightest. For Boston personally, this is huge. She's often been overshadowed by Clark's spotlight, but nights like this remind everyone why Boston was the #1 pick in 2023, why she was an all-star as a rookie, and why she's the anchor of Indiana's future.
Hot start for LA. They've made 3 of their 4 field goals. Here's an errant pass, chased down by Plum. Plum 1-on-2, ripped away there by Sims.
Great play by Odyssey Sims. Played the ball.
3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
For the franchise, it's a turning point. The Fever are officially back in the playoff picture. And they did it by proving they're more than just the Caitlin Clark show. This playoff run sets the stage for something even bigger. Imagine what happens when Caitlin Clark is back in the lineup, feeding Boston inside, running the offense, and creating space for shooters. But Boston didn't do it alone. The Fever's supporting cast stepped up big time. Kelsey Mitchell was lethal from outside, knocking down threes that kept the Sparks on their heels. Lexi Hull brought energy and toughness, the kind of hustle that doesn't always show up in the box score but changes the game. And Nalissa Smith? She was the perfect complement to Boston, spacing the floor and bringing a versatile attack. The Fever, without their superstar rookie, relied on team basketball, ball movement, defense, heart, and honestly,
Hesitation, tries to attack baseline, gets into the paint, her pass is deflected, picked up by Hull. Ahead of the pack is Kelsey Mitchell, all alone, laid up and in.
And that is just vintage.
they looked like a complete squad, balanced, hungry, dangerous. Meanwhile, the Sparks just couldn't keep up. This was supposed to be their moment, too. They had the chance to grab the last playoff ticket, but turnovers, sloppy execution, and poor shot selection doomed them. Every time they tried to close the gap, Indiana answered. Every time they thought momentum was swinging, Aliyah Boston shut the door. It wasn't that LA didn't fight, they did. But Indiana's composure, energy, and sheer willpower was just on another level. By the fourth quarter, it felt inevitable. The Sparks were done. The Fever were locked in, and history was being written. This duo, Clark and Boston, could become the most dangerous inside-outside combination in the WNBA for years to come. And the supporting cast? They now have confidence. They now have experience. And most importantly, they now have the belief that they can win when it matters most. The Indiana Fever are no longer rebuilding. They are here, and they're just getting started.
Teams have combined for 5 turnovers to start this one. Hamby. The handoff to Stevens. Little screen roll action. Back to Hamby. Sparks started the game on a 7-0 run. Here's Mitchell. Right back to Boston. And unable to get that one, but follows her on.
So here's the bottom line. Aliyah Boston didn't hold back. She stepped up, she dominated, and she led the Indiana Fever to the playoffs in a must-win game against the LA Sparks, all without Caitlin Clark on the floor. This is a statement not just for Boston, not just for the Fever, but for the entire WNBA. The message is clear. Don't sleep on Indiana, and don't you dare overlook Aliyah Boston. What do you think? Did this game prove that the Fever are more than just Caitlin Clark? And can Aliyah Boston and the Fever make some noise in the playoffs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if you believe the Fever are the WNBA's next dynasty. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates, because the Fever are just heating up.
Mitchell around the corner. Touch pass over to Boston. Going to back down Hamby. Boston up and under in the lane. Finishes with the left. The matchups all season long between Boston and Hamby have been physical as Stevens knocks down a triple.